Guys, welcome back to another video today. Now, we're back with a Vector. Now, recently I was doing some work on this and I've done some fine tuning. I feel like I've got it sitting at a pretty good place at the moment. I fitted the Bowmaster sort of chassis receiver plates, which you can see we've got the official Kriss markings in here, which is nice. They're stainless steel, a lot of heft added to this, which, you know, I'll be honest with you, I didn't really want to make it heavier, but I wanted to lose the Krytac markings here, which we have now done, which is great. We did a little bit more work on it. I mirror polished the inside of the plates. I also changed the valve locker spring because in my opinion it was just too tight. I've changed it for a shortened Glock valve locker spring. Other modifications we've done to this so far, we have some Bowmaster steel parts. We've got a Bowmaster bolt lock sort of mount, Bowmaster charging handle and the Bowmaster outer barrel as well. Now, currently fitted in here at the moment, I've got the Bowmaster carrier fitted, and that is really stout. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, it's this thing. Which is this. Now, I ordered this and was really excited to try it out. However, so far, it's not working great. We're not getting any sort of bolt lock. It is increased our sort of cyclic rate. Definitely improved that slightly. There's a couple of things that I wanted to just mention. Now, we know that looking at the stock carrier, we did some modifications to this, if you remember, which was to fit a shortened one of these on, okay? This was to improve the possibility of bolt lock, and it just basically made it run a bit better. So initially, my thought process is maybe we trim this down a bit, just to see where we're at. Now, the problem is, at the moment, we've got, this is 16.5 mil, whereas this one you can see is a lot shorter. Now, my issue is at the moment, this is as it came. And if anyone wants to try it in theirs, I could quite easily sell it to them and there'd be no problem. If I start chopping away at this, it's no longer factory. So I don't really want to do that unless I really have to. However, I feel that this spring is just too much. But there is a lot of extra weight here, so maybe it's necessary. But the stock one, you can see this spring is nothing by comparison. So we've got a couple of options. I've started to mirror polish the tops of these as well, just to make it run a bit better. I think my best option is to abandon this, stick with the factory carrier, which we've done a bit of work on. It's lightweight as well. However, I want to increase the spring tension here to up the RPS and get the rate of fire up a bit. And then we'll see if we could increase that with some extra spring tension on this one. So that's our plan. So I'm going to go get the chrono, fit this back in, and we'll test it out. Right guys, so we've got some BBs in the mag. So they are just 2.0s. I've put the original carrier back in. We're all locked and loaded. We'll just quickly check the FPS because I haven't checked it yet on this just yet. So I've got about 350 FPS, 1.1 joule. That's fine. Right, stick it on auto, see what we get. Now, I slightly modified this video because my initial intention, and I actually explained this earlier on, but I've cut this out, was to check the rate of fire on the chrono. But for some reason, my chrono just seems to suddenly have decided it doesn't want to do this anymore, and is only reading standard FPS. So I wasn't able to do that, so I'm sort of going to abandon that part of this. But I wanted to still show the clips. You can see that what kind of FPS we're shooting at, and you can kind of hear the rate of fire as well. So what we're now going to do is try a few bits and pieces that I know we can do to try and just improve that a little bit. First things first then, Going to remove this screw in the top. There we go. That's now going undone. That will allow the carrier and spring to come off. Okay, so there we go. Now, this was in there, which I assume is what sits at the top, sort of inside here. No, it doesn't look like it will go in there. Maybe it sits at the bottom then. Oh yeah, I can see it does. Yeah, it sits right at the bottom down there. Now that's our spring. It's quite long, but it's quite soft at the same time. Now, to a certain degree, that's a good thing, because under a lot of tension, it's shoving it forwards, but then as it starts to come back, it's quite soft. My initial thought was to try and run a bigger spring, but that really fits in there okay. So we are probably going to have to run this spring. What I'm going to do instead is run a spacer. I wonder if that barrel will go. It will. Okay, right. So what we want then, we're going to have to shorten down an airsoft barrel to use as our spacer. Now, I think I calculated that I've got plenty of room to put a spacer in here without causing any significant issues. So I think I'm probably going to use this end because I've already got a cut in this one already. So I'm probably just going to whack this in the drill, cut this off, and then I should be able to fit that in there, no problem. So that's all cut off now. You can see we've cut that piece off. That should now perfectly slide over that. There we go. Now what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this little spacer off there. I'm going to put that on there first. Probably that way around, yeah. Then that on there. That will then give the spring a good base to go on. So that will increase the tension on the spring now. Now straight away, that's got a lot more tension to it, which is good. So let's slap it in. Okay. See what the drop is like. Yeah, that's not bad. So what we'll do now is we'll just quickly try it out. Now I have got BBs in the magazine, so I'm just going to shoot them mid-box here. Probably gives us a more accurate representation of what it's going to be like anyway. So, got an auto. Okay, that seemed pretty good. Let's just put it on double tap. Okay, that's not bad. I feel like I'd like it a little bit better. Let's just try it on semi, see how snappy it is. I mean, it's snappy anyway on semi. So what we're going to do is just fit another spacer in there, just to give it a little bit more tension. Nip that down. Yep, that's got a lot more tension now. Okay, so back. Yeah, that comes forward quite nicely now. So on semi-auto. Yeah, nice and snappy. Double tap. That's good. An auto now. Yeah, that's not bad. So that's about the rate of fire I was after. And we've got a nice, you know, that still comes back nice and crisp, no problems. It's worth bearing in mind, I haven't really done any extra lubrication inside here. Since I last fitted all this back together. It's literally just bone dry. I think there's a little bit of oil in there, but that's about it. So yeah, got that running really nicely in there. And I must admit, since I did that valve knocker spring, this cycle's a lot better now. So there we go. We've got an upgraded recoil spring, if you like. It's not quite to this level, but that, I mean, is excessive. I'm still tempted to chop this down a little bit to see if we can get this feeding correctly and locking back, but I feel that's just too much. It's It's just too strong. Considering this system is not the most gas efficient anyway, I feel that putting a great big heavy recoil spring behind it really isn't helping, especially with a big heavy carrier. So I think we're going to stick with this for now. Now, if you have any recommendations of what else to do to this, then do let me know in the comments. So here's our gas efficiency test. So here I'm just talking about some modifications that have already been done to this. I'm not going to go into massive detail with this because you can see this earlier on in the video. Previously, when I did a gas efficiency test of this when it was stock, I believe I got about 120 shots out of one gas fill before it gassed out completely. I'm expecting far better than that now, hopefully. Fingers crossed that works out. So let me know your predictions in the comments, guys. Let's see where we can push this to. So let's mag in. It's on semi-auto. Okay, I'm going to hold the bolt lock down and we'll just rattle off. Let's rattle off 50 to begin with because it can do that no problem usually. So there's 50, and we've got a nice solid bolt lock back there. So far, mag's chilling off a bit, but it's not terrible. So let's see if we can go to 100 then, okay? Okay, so that's 100. We've got a nice bolt lock back there. And again, I've not waited in between there. I've literally just rattled off another 50. Yeah, mag's quite cold, but it's all right. Okay. We'll give it a moment to recover. As I did with the arse test, I sort of let it recover a little bit. So we're now at 100. So I'd like to see if we can rattle off another 50. Things to bear in mind, even though I have made its recoil probably a bit easier here, I have fitted a spacer in the spring to make the bolt return faster. So that is probably going to hurt efficiency a little bit. To be honest, to do a sort of accurate test here, I should probably have removed that, but there you go. So let's try for another 50 then. Right, there's 150 now with a bolt lock back. Now, so far, I can honestly say it's definitely slowing down a bit. It's not quite as stout as it once was, but we're at 150 there, no problem. Mag's, yeah, it's cold, but not freezing cold. So, yeah, it's doing all right so far. Okay, mag back in. Let's go for another 20, okay? So that'll put us to 170. Okay, we haven't got a bolt lock back there. I can hear audibly it's not cycling as well as it was before. So we've definitely lost some efficiency with probably that heavier recoil spring. But so far, you know, we pretty much rattled off 150 there with a firm lock back, which is, yeah, pretty good. Let's just give it a second to recover, see if it will lock back now, which it did, okay? So that'll be 171, okay? Let's go for another 10, shall we? In fact, let's just give the mag a second. Okay, give it a second to recover. Bolt. The nozzle doesn't look that cold. Bolt doesn't look that cold either, so that's great news. Lubricant-wise inside there, I'm just using a bit of graphite powder. There's no oil or anything in there. It's just bone dry with some graphite powder. So mag is quite cold, but all right, let's stick it back in. So we're now at what? 171. So let's go for another 9 to make it 180 then. Okay. Okay, didn't lock back on 9. I can feel it's not coming back quite as hard. We'll give it a second, see if it will just do a lock back, which it will. So that's good. So we're now at 181. Let's go for another 10. Okay, so that's 190 with a lock back. I think we're really pushing it now. Let's see if we can get to 200. I don't think it will do it, but let's see if we can. 200. So that's 200 shots and a lock back. And, you know, I'm just looking at the counter on the thing now. We're at 7 minutes on that, but I was doing some talking beforehand as well. So, you know, that's pretty good going, really. Go on then, let's try another 10. I don't think it's going to do any more than that. It's really waning now, so... Okay, yeah, that was 210, didn't lock back. Give it a second, see if it will recover. There you go, 211 on a lock back. Right, let's feel this mag. Yeah, mag is pretty cold. It's not awful though, a bit better than I thought it was going to be. All right, so currently 211. Let's see if we can take it to 220, so we'll do another 9. $220 now with a lock back. Okay, let's see if we can go for 230, so another 10. Didn't lock back on 230. Give it a second, see if it will lock back. No, still not locking back. Let's give it another second to recover. So that'd be 232. There you go, 233 now. So 233 on a lock back. I mean, it's impressive. You know, that mag 230 shots with a lock back. Yeah, you can't argue at that. So the mag is cold now, very cold. Not quite frosty, but it's pretty cold. Well, I think we're right near the limit here. So let's go for another 10. I don't think it's going to lock back though. Okay, it did. So 240 now. 240 shots on a lock back there. That is impressive. It's not going to do another 10, is it? Listen to it. It's just not going to do another 10. Let's give it a go. So we're at 250 now. 250 shots. Now, worth bearing in mind, when I first tested this, stock, you know, the previous owner had done a little bit of fetting with it, but we were like, I think we're about 110. You know, we've over doubled that now. 250 shots locking back. Okay, it probably isn't pushing a lot of FPS now. We're probably well into the 200s now. But that would still be feeding because the bolt is coming back far enough to feed. You can just see it is. It's not got another 10 in it, surely. No, that was 260. Let's give it a second, see if it'll recover. Oh my God. 261 and a lockback. I don't know what else. I mean, I don't think we need to push it any further. I mean, you know I'm going to see how far we can go, but I don't think it has anything left to prove, really. 260 and a lockback. 261 actually. Let's go for another 9 then. What am I doing? Right. Okay, didn't lock back. So that would be 270 now. I think. I'm losing count now. I think it's 270. No, still not locking back. I think we're right at the limit of what this can do now. So, give it a second. You know what? I'm gonna let it win there. I don't see the point. Why is the point in testing that any further than that? I mean, what was that? 200 and what? I mean, I can't even work it out right now. I've lost count. But I mean, well over 270 shots with a lockback. Will it lock back again? What more do you want? Now, I'm not suggesting that this is any good on auto still. It stumbles and stutters. It's going to be using in bursts, really. Pretty much. Use it on double tap and you're good. Semi-auto, great. You know, semi-auto, if you're rotating mags, I don't see you're going to have a problem with it. Obviously, I've done some modifications to it, and yes, you can argue it should come like this out of the box, and I'd agree with you. But, you know, even if it did come out of the box like this, people are going to tinker. You know, how good is the MWS, Tokamarui MWS out of the box? Now, I'm not a fan of the MWS platform, by the way. I'm not got anything bad to say about it because it's a fantastic platform, but it just doesn't do it for me. But those things are stunning out of the box. Out of the box, it'll outshoot anything, gas blowback-wise, in my opinion. But people tinker with those and change stuff over and try and improve it. So I don't see how this is any different, if I'm honest. The difference is, if you want to buy one of these and use it straight out of the box, you're going to be disappointed. You need to spend a little bit more money. You need to upgrade it a little bit. As I said, yes, you could argue they should do this out of the factory, but this is the situation we're at. Will it lock back again? Of course it will. Right, guys, I'm done. That's it. I'm guessing that's 280-ish shots. I'll put the final count on here because I'll count it up when I'm editing this. I mean, give it a second. Oh, I must be near 290 now. Should I give it a second? Shall I see if we can push it to 300? I don't know. I don't know where it's got 300 left in it. Mag's not bad. It's not awful. It's not awful. It's cold, but it's not awful. Oh, go on then. Let's have a go. Right, I didn't look back on the temp shot. Let's give it a second, see if it will do it. We're at 300 now. 100% we're at 300 at least. And that's probably, with me losing count, probably more than that now. Will it lock back? Come on. Oh, you know what? I'm going to let it have it. 300. I think, if my memory serves me well, that is 300 shots. 300 shots out of that magazine that previously this platform would barely scrape over 100. Well, there you go, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.